Failure is a part of life. It is one of those things we encounter along our pathways that are inevitable. We cannot avoid it. If we attempt anything worthy of our lives, we will encounter it. Each of us fails at some time in our lives. There are no exceptions. The psalmist said in Psalm 146:3, "Don't look to men for help. Their greatest leaders fail." I've had to work my way through failures in my own lifetime. I have seen individuals and institutions, even churches, have to work their way through failures and on to success. I've also seen some of those give up and give in and become failures instead of forging through it. In fact, one of the key ingredients of success is failure, namely, how we respond to it. Here I want to challenge each of you to decide today to forge through the failure you are struggling with. Edmund Cook asked, "What is failure?" It is a spur within the one who receives it right to make the spirit in him go out and fight. So if you've never failed, it's an easy guess that you'll never be a big success. We don't always say the right thing. We often do the wrong thing. We don't win every game we play. We don't land every deal we propose. We don't always hit the ball out of the park. We don't always score the touchdown. We don't always score the slam dunk. We don't always make the right decision when parenting. We don't always make the best choices in our relationships. We don't always say yes or no at the right times. We don't always make wise financial decisions. The question is, how do we respond when we fail? We are tempted to hang our heads in the agony of defeat. That's not an option if we want to succeed. Ask God for the grace to keep your head up and apply the lessons learned through the failure and turn it into one of life's home runs or slam dunks. When you fail, refuse to think it is your entire fault. That is assuming way too much responsibility upon you. Life is not all about you. The win or the loss is not all about you. The sale or the refusal is not all about you. We would think it was by the way we view those who are competitors. For example, a few years ago, the Florida Gators punter, Chaz Henry, was pressed into action to kick field goals for the Florida team. Against Mississippi State, he missed 2 field goal attempts that could have changed the outcome of the game. Oh my, failure, pundits said. If he had thought it was all about him, like the press and some fans did, he would have hung his head in shame and felt he was a failure. Instead, he practiced, learned, listened to his mentors, got better, and 2 weeks later, against an SEC rival, he kicked an overtime field goal that won the game. He went from the GOAT to the hero in 2 weeks because he did not give in and give up. He forged on through failure to success. Someone will hear this when he or she is tempted to give up, give in, and quit after a failure. Perhaps some group of people will hear this and realize God is speaking to you through it and challenge you to forge on through failure to success. It may be a game changer for someone. It may be a life changer for some. It may mean an institutional turnaround for others. It is time we remembered that quote from Apollo 13, the movie, that was inspired from the lips of a flight dynamics officer who said, when considering the options at NASA control, failure was not one of them. The movie quote turned out to be, failure is not an option. R.C. Halverson said, failure is God's way of consuming the dross so the goal may remain. So hold your head up and let God turn your failure into success today. Sometimes the refiner's fire produces amazing results. It's your choice. Allow yourself to be flogged by the failure or forge your way through it to God's reward. Remember in whom success resides. From the psalmist in Psalm 118:25, O Lord, please help us, save us, give us success.